would cry. Mama is leaving to see her father on the other side. The morning is broken and my work is done. Blackbird is smoking and my time is come.
Years ago. That's all I can remember. I said 2 years ago. Ex-soldier fly to investigate.
First thing when grandmother got up, she eyed. And you mess with her, she say, I'm too pretty to die. And the next thing, hey, when she get ready, she put them hands on her hip. You know the blows in your neck.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Chrissy Brooks. Yeah, remember Chris, I could see how she looked now. I think I just remember her sitting and saying a couple things. Don't remember what she was saying, but yeah, that's all I remember.
Okay. And I remember her doing it, selling her kerosene.
Her kerosene oil?
Yes. And she in office sit down out underneath the tree. She mind all the little children that come.
You're gonna
after.
show her the ugliest uncle first. What the hell?
For me, what I remember most about my grandmother was she was my savior, actually. From my mom, I was, I guess, maybe the only one that she would take to St. Thomas and different parts of the Virgin Islands, including St. Croix. She did not let me stay with my mom because the fact is that if I did stay with my mom, she was going to give me a lot of blows and stuff like that. Grandmother was a force to be reckoned with. She was a banker. She was a salesperson. I remember her having all of our money, all the siblings' money, and she had them under her bed and had them tied in certain knots, and she could identify whose money was whose. And also, I think she probably was the first trading person that would give, like, borrow from one to pay the other. So that's what she used to do, go into each person's bank, little money, and take out and put into other people, and then she get the money back and she will return it. And what else? Again, her favorite phrase is that you too pretty to die, you better than do it. The greatest grandmother, she will be missed, always will be missed, but very good grandmother. Thank you.
Nice. So you don't focus day, come back up drunk. Grandmother was that stern woman. That woman whom you could always look to. One of my fondest memories is she was combing my hair right there on that platform where the house is, on the north side of the house. My mother had gone to work early, so Moi had gone somewhere, so then the next person to comb your hair was Grandmother Chrissy. So Grandmother Chrissy was combing my hair. My hair used to be really long, and everybody used to give me 3 or 4 plaits. 1 in the center and 2 on the side. But this day, Grandmother decided to give me a little extra, and I was happy. So now Grandmother combing my hair in the front. So I said to Grandmother, Grandmother, it's tight. She pull it harder and say, you playing a woman, you playing a woman? No problem, I cry. And she tell me, state your case. Now, if you ever state your case, you're going to get a next set of blows. So I hushed my mouth, bathed, went to school. During the morning period, my face started to swell. The teacher was Teacher Lucia. I was in grade 3. And Teacher Lucia said, your face swollen. I said, yeah, Grandmother Chrissy combed it, so she made an attempt to loosen it. I said, no, I can't go in my hair, looks up to Grandmother. She gonna beat me. So Teacher Lucia said, well, it's too tight. That's why your face is swollen. I said, Teacher Lucia, I gotta leave it in. Came home for lunch. I was crying. Grandmother said, what are you crying for? I said, my hair too tight. And because Grandmother combed my hair, Grandmother beat me for saying my hair too tight. And then I think it was Moy. Somebody, Moy and man, one of them said, you know, the child face is swell. And grandmother said it's swell because she played a woman. And then Moy slacked it up because, dear me, I could not put my hands, and nobody else could put their hands in my hair because grandmother comb it. How she slacked the hair, Moy unloosed it and she replaited it over.
Hi, this is Catherine. I'm outside in my yard shooting this little video in memory of grandmother Chrissy Brooks. I know she loved outdoors, so I'm just doing this brief video outdoor. I remember grandmother for her lending us money. She was like the bank. If you need some money urgently, you just go to her and she will be willing to lend. And I know she didn't have a problem with lending. She always used to say, I trust you. And I also remember her where I used to share the same room with her. Sometimes in the same bed, you know. I think Joan and I shared a bed together in that same room as well. Grandmother Chrissy Brooks had an unusual way of correcting you. She would like to hit you in the back of your neck. And sometimes you don't even know why you're getting the lick in your neck. But it helped me a lot. All the upbringing helped me to be a better person, because I know it wasn't meant for any harm, but it was their way of correcting you and keeping you on the straight and narrow path. I loved the family, and you know, it was sad when she passed away, but she lived a long and well-lived life. And I'm thankful to have, you know, met her. She helped me also with my children. And I'm thankful that, you know, they were able also to spend time with her. So, love and respect.
My recollections of grandmother go back to when I first came to Angola when I was 10, when I came with my dad, and it was a night flight, so we arrived in the pitch dark, and it was the first time I'd ever arrived in Angola. At the time, the electricity supply was nowhere near as good as I was used to, so it was like follow the leader. So I didn't really see the island and my family in proper light until the next day. So it was a blessing to see her and my other family and mama's siblings and uncles and aunties, and that was the first occasion. But then as an adult, I came 15 years later with me and mum, and we went to St. Croix, St. Thomas to see mama's other siblings and her uncles. Also one of her uncle Warner was in St. Kitts as well. So, and at that time, that's when I saw grandmother in her real environment. The first time I went, I think her and daddy spent some time drinking, because they both used to like to drink, and daddy used to like to drink when he was in England, so it was good for them to get together. But when I came the second time, my memories are in the yard in particular, because that was the first time I saw a goat get killed. And then curry goat was made, and goat water was made, and it was grandmother who was around when that was happening. And then I also saw her build a coal keel, and that was the first time I seen that done. So, but also I saw her interacting with mom and took some pictures. Got to see my other aunties who were there as well, Aunt Emily, and it was a really beautiful time, and those memories will stay with me forever. And the love she has for her family, which was always evident, and the tent, her little house that she had, that she always used to go into in the daytime to keep out the sun, and she'd have a stick, and then she'd make her way into the house, and Joan would be staying with her, sleeping with her. So all those memories are there, and they'll stay forever with the love that I have for her.
Hello, family in Anguilla.
So my name is Raycon, and this is my grandmother, Mama, and this is my dad.
Hello, people. Hello, family.
Dad, what's your name?
My name is Andrew.
Okay, so that's Dad. And then this is my husband,
My name is Anthony.
Anthony. And then these are my two children. This is
Keziah.
Keziah. How old are you, Keziah?
I'm 7.
And what's your name?
Kem.
Kemuel. And how old are you, Kem?
5.
5 and a half. And we just wanted to say how much we're sad that we're missing out. We're sending all our love, and we're thinking about you all, and we know you're going to have a great time, and you're in our hearts and our minds, and sending all the love. Until we come, we are coming. God willing, we'll reach. But just wanted to send this message and video to say that we're thinking of you, and we're in you're in our hearts and our minds. Okay. Say bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you, family.
Something else that I remember too about grandmother. It was during Easter, and she had this ram goat. You know, the place wasn't developed like this. Had little bush by the side. And somebody steal grandmother goat what she had for Easter. She wake up the morning, she said she going to buy Markilla to come back. To book the booking key.
To walk the booking key.
I walk the booking key. I said, booking key? She said, shut the hell up. We don't know what this booking key is. So, grandmother went up by Markilla from early morning. But we know the end results. Grandmother come back drunk as a skunk, singing a virgin most pure and something else. I never understand the song. So me, being curious and fast, I say, grandmother, what about the booking key? She said, shut your ass, you know, till my ram go. And that was just some of my fun memories that I enjoyed about my grandmother. Thing else too, we had gone to St. Kitts, and St. Kitts was singing the national song. The national song is Great Trinity of Islands, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, and I can't remember the other part. So, me being excited, saying, John, it got a national song. No, because Angola had went through that 67 revolution. The children weren't allowed to sing the national anthem. So people from my age group don't know nothing about this anthem. So I gone to sing it, and I sing it. Grandmother said, what is this? I said the national song. And me with my fastness gone started singing. Grandmother give me a clout, knock me out, you know, and say, I don't want no St. Kitts thing here. I don't want no St. Kitts thing here. So every time grandmother would see 2 or 3 of us gather together, she feel I had come to overthrow like the revolution. I just had went and meet a new culture, had learned to embrace it, and learn a lot of things that we didn't know, because everywhere you go, you see St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla. But in Anguilla, we so own way. Never like to follow laws, and still don't like to follow laws. We only use Anguilla. But we were the state of St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla until 1980, the 19th of December. And that's something I remember for grandmother. She said, don't bring no St. Kitts thing down here. You just like Bradshaw.
Another memory of grandmother. I remember when grandmother used to bathe us. We used to bathe outside in a bad pan of water. And we used to be so nasty to come over here. Grandmother just, after we act this fairy, grandma just had this rough hands, and she just rub your body, and she thumping you, you know, you crying, and, you know, your friends watching you getting bathed on the outside, butt naked, and, you know, and grandma just didn't care. She just rough and just thumping you as you cry because you're too nasty to bathe. There was one time also when, you know, when you're small and stupid, I decided to take a shit in the yard. And of course, grandmother's there. And she said to me, come here. So I go to her. She said, pick it up. So I proceed to pick it up. She said, no, with your hands. I never shit in the yard again, believe it or not.
Grandmother Chrissy, better known as Christophine Constantia Eulalie Brooks. That's what she would call herself. Grandmother was the glue that kept us together. She was a hard-working woman, full of life and energetic. The tamarind tree was the gathering place for grandmother, Otis, Eddie, and Langy to frequently hang out. She instilled in us hard work and to be kind to everyone. I had the pleasure of sharing a bed with grandmother that made our bond very special. I love her. I think about her. I pray that one day that we will meet again. Our grandmother, Christophine Constantia Willibrina Brooks, is forever indebted in our life. We love you, grandmother. One of my fondest memories is hearing you talk about working the salt pond in sandy ground and looking at you work the ground up in the valley, bringing home all the provisions and everything and cooking and taking care of us. You took care of me, and then you took care of my son and all the other great-grandchildren in between. You are forever indebted in my heart, gone but not forgotten. We love you, grandmother. Continue to rest in eternal peace. February 25th would have been your birthday, and we always remember that day and celebrate.
My name is Elvira. I'm the daughter of Chrissy. And memories of her, remembering her cooking and making Johnny cakes. That's what she did, making Johnny cakes. Baking. Sometimes they bake them outside in the pot with a fire on top of it, like Carmen and people do now. And then sometimes we put them in the oven, and sometimes when we put the potatoes in the ashes, and she would call out to us what we're doing, we don't know what we're doing, and things like that. But she was in that way, she was a good, she cooked. She never let us, she never wanted you to do what she did. But if she asked you to do something and you didn't do it, oh my Lord, heaven help you. She was a woman that if she asks for something, you have to do it. And if you don't do it, well, you're getting in trouble. I remember her. I remember sometimes when she would drink, and sometimes when she got out of the way with it, and then sometimes you wish that you were someplace else, but then when you come back to it, that's where you are, that's your mother. And then I remembered how she used to give us words. She would tell you things like, shift that won't be guided by the rudder. The rocks will pick you up. And she'd tell you, you could learn, you can do all the things, and if you don't have no common sense, you're still a damn fool. Those are the things. But my most memories of her is when I went away, and I came back, and I saw her. She was a total different person. She was different. You could talk with her. You can sit down and talk with her and hear what she had to say and do. And she would, she changed, and that made me happy to know that lady was my mother. Happy.
Interesting office space.
Look.
This is the newly finished
Guidance to one and all. This is Chrissy Brooks' grandchild. Just to let you know, Chrissy Brooks not gone away. She still resides in we. Guidance. Done.
Afternoon. Bonsoir. Chrissy Brooks. Say things that she used to say in a minute is difficult. But she was the foundation of our family. Growing up, I remember, and Margan St. Thomas, grandmother had to cook for us. Boy, them dumplings. one of them dumplings drop in the bottom of your stomach and you drink water after that, that was good night for you. Other than that, she would beat the shit out of you. And while she beating you, she telling you exactly what she beating you for. And she'll tell you, who don't hear by the ear would feel by the ass. And her favorite phrase is, you're too pretty to die. That was our soldier, our foundation. And the words that was instilled in us, that back then I might have a thing, they only telling us things just to scare us. But as I get my own kids, with those words I still instill in them, and back then they might have been just words to me, but today, those words are words of wisdom. Those words make me who I am today. And like I said, those same words I instill in my kids. Trust me. Talking about her is like, still going to tears in my eyes. But I used to just enjoy hearing she cussing, even though I don't know what the hell she's saying. But them words, them how she used to cuss mad, never forget them up to this day. That was just suck. We sat up long shit, mega the mouth. Grandmother, you're gone, but you would never be forgotten.
Some memories with grandmother. Some of my fondest memories with grandmother is watching her make cassava bread and using that. There was a sea rock that was there in the yard under the flamboyant tree. That flamboyant tree that was there for like 100 years, it seems, it was burnt out and never died. It just stayed around. It was always there. And so she would use this rock to pound, corn, even coarse salt that we used to get from the salt pond back in the day. And corning all of the meats so that they won't go bad. So if they, especially pork, there used to be corn pork hanging from the tree outside where they would, use this coarse salt to corn pork and all of that kind of stuff. And, but going back to the cassava bread making, I don't recall anyone in Anguilla ever making cassava bread like that ever again. I mean, I could see it in my head and right now, but unfortunately, none of us that I could recall ever learned how to make that cassava bread, which is a bit of a shame, but hey, it is what it is. Another thing with grandmother, I mean, there was always a lot of proverbs being used. Dog among doctors, cockroach wearing sliders, hurry dog eats raw corn, stitch in time, it saves 9. There was always wisdom with, grandmother. There was always something that, would grab you by the collar and shake you a little bit, But, and of course, another beautiful memory of her is I think at the time she was already walking with a walking stick. So that was, I believe, in her 80s. Her 80s, and she was still dancing merengue in her 80s and having a good time, but on the darker side of that, I mean, she also had her grave built when she was, I believe, in her 20s or 30s. and her tomb was built and was rebuilt several times during the course of her life. So I guess she wasn't planning to stick around until her 90s, but thank goodness that she did. If not, none of us probably would have met her and have the experiences that we all have had with her. So everything happens for a reason. And another memory, I don't know, but this is one that I remember vaguely of her sailing on schooners with all of these men smuggling rum from Macorís, Santo Domingo, to bring back down to the smaller islands in the Caribbean. But that was one of the stories that she used to talk about. Unfortunately, never retained much of that. Wish I had retained more, but all my family, we love grandmother and wish she was here with us now. This year would have been her 120th year on this little ball of earth if, the inevitable didn't happen. However, we love you and miss you, grandmother, and to all the family members, love you all. Bless.